Chosen one, your financial evolution is beginning. Just watch. Something powerful is shifting around you. Something subtle, yet undeniable. Something that has been building beneath the surface of your life for far longer than you realized. There is a quiet but transformative movement happening inside you. An internal restructuring, a deep rewiring of the way you see abundance, opportunity, value, and worth. Your financial elevation does not begin the moment the money arrives. It begins the moment your internal frequency shifts. And that shift is happening now. You may not see it clearly yet, but your spirit has already sensed that something is changing. You may feel a new calmness about situations that once stressed you. You may feel more grounded, more patient, more confident, more aligned with the idea that something greater is unfolding. You might not know where, when, or how, but you feel something rising within you, a knowing, a whisper, a calling, a pull toward a new chapter of expansion. This is the first sign that your financial evolution is active. Chosen one, before we go deeper, stay with this message until the end, and comment your warmest wishes and 144 to affirm the alignment of energy moving through you. Let this intention be written once here. Now, we return fully to the message. Now, chosen one, press the hype button, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's start. Once your internal frequency begins shifting, your outer world eventually follows. Your financial evolution is beginning inside you, in your mindset, your emotions, your intuition, your identity. You are not becoming lucky. You are becoming aligned. You are not stumbling into abundance. You are awakening into it. Your perception of opportunity is expanding. Your relationship with fear is softening. Your attachment to survival mode is dissolving. Your heart is preparing itself for a new level of receiving. Chosen one of the first signs of financial evolution is internal clarity. You begin to feel a growing awareness of what drains you financially and what strengthens you. You start noticing how your energy reacts to certain opportunities, environments, conversations, and patterns. You begin to see the difference between survival decisions and abundance decisions. You begin to sense the subtle shift between acting from fear and acting from purpose. This clarity is not random, it is the inner compass of financial awakening. You might find yourself rethinking old beliefs about money, worth, and success. You may reflect on how much of your financial life was shaped by fear, scarcity, or generational limitation. You may realize that you were taught to shrink, to settle, to sacrifice, to stretch yourself thin. But now those beliefs feel too small for you. They feel outdated. They feel misaligned. You are outgrowing the financial patterns that once confined you because your spirit knows it is time for something different. Chosen one, your financial evolution begins long before your external reality shifts. It begins in the invisible places. You may start to feel more confident in what you deserve. You may become more aware of your value, your talent, your skills, your strength. You may feel a new motivation rising, a new discipline growing, a new focus sharpening. This evolution is internal. You are becoming someone who naturally attracts, creates, and sustains abundance. As this internal shift continues, you may notice that certain financial behaviors no longer feel aligned with you. Impulsive choices may lose their grip. Scarcity thinking may feel unnatural. Fear-based decision-making may no longer fit. This is because your inner identity is shifting. When your identity upgrades, your habits follow. When your habits shift, your reality changes. financial evolution begins with identity evolution. Chosen one, you may begin experiencing new ideas, new possibilities, new visions. Inspiration may strike you unexpectedly. Solutions may arise where you once felt stuck. You may become more creative, more strategic, more open-minded. This creativity is a sign of internal expansion. Abundance is not just money. It is perspective, possibility, strategy, clarity. Your spirit is opening the door to all of these. Your intuition may also become more active. You may feel subtle pulls toward certain decisions, opportunities, or actions. You may sense which paths feel aligned and which paths feel draining. You may notice that your spirit reacts differently to different types of energy. This intuition is not guesswork, it is guidance. It is the inner navigation system that leads you into a new chapter of financial empowerment. Chosen one, your financial evolution also begins with emotional maturity. You may start detaching from financial fear. You may stop panicking over temporary delays. You may stop interpreting slow seasons as failure. Instead, you begin to understand the rhythm of growth. You begin to trust the timing of alignment. You begin to see money not as something you chase, but as something you attract through clarity, purpose, and stability. This emotional shift is powerful. When you stop moving from fear, you stop sabotaging your opportunities. When you stop operating through scarcity, you open the door to abundance. When you stop doubting your value, you become a magnet for better experiences. Chosen one, another sign of your financial evolution is that you may begin disconnecting from environments that keep you stagnant. You may distance yourself from people who normalize struggle. You may release conversations that reinforce scarcity. You may lose interest in habits that drain your potential. You may walk away from patterns that once felt comfortable but are no longer aligned with where you're going. This distancing is part of your evolution, not in rebellion, but in elevation. You may also feel a pull toward discipline, not forced discipline, but aligned discipline. You may suddenly become more intentional with your time, energy, and resources. You may feel called to organize your life with more purpose. You may develop healthier financial boundaries. You may stop overgiving. You may stop undervaluing yourself. This level of discipline is not restrictive. It is liberating. It gives structure to your evolution. Chosen one, your financial evolution begins the moment you stop seeing yourself as someone who survives and start seeing yourself as someone who creates, someone who builds, someone who attracts, someone who belongs in abundance. This shift in identity is foundational. Until your identity changes, your circumstances remain the same. But your identity is changing now, subtly, powerfully, undeniably. You may begin noticing new opportunities. You may attract new connections. You may receive unexpected support. You may feel guided toward new ideas. You may catch glimpses of possibilities that once felt impossible. This is the alignment of your evolution. When your internal world rises, your external world eventually follows. Chosen one, financial evolution is not sudden wealth. It is steady alignment. It is the awakening of your capacity. It is the strengthening of your discipline. It is the sharpening of your intuition. It is the softening of your fear. It is the expansion of your identity. It is the anchoring of your purpose. It is the stabilizing of your spirit. And once your spirit evolves, your finances eventually evolve with it. You are not waiting on abundance. Abundance is waiting on your internal alignment. You are not chasing opportunity. Opportunity is rising to match your vibration. You are not begging for breakthrough. You are becoming the person who naturally creates it. Chosen one, your financial evolution has already begun. The inner shifts are the proof. The clarity is the proof. The awareness is the proof. The emotional maturity is the proof. The new identity rising within you is the proof. You are stepping into a new chapter where your financial life aligns with your spiritual growth, your mental clarity, and your personal strength. This is the beginning of your evolution, and you are ready for it. Just watch. Chosen one, as this financial evolution continues unfolding within you, you may begin to notice that your relationship with stability is changing. You are no longer comforted by stagnation. You are no longer satisfied with just surviving. You are no longer willing to shrink yourself to fit into small spaces. Instead, there is something rising in you that wants more, not out of greed, but out of growth. You feel a pull toward expansion, a desire for opportunity, a curiosity for what lies beyond the limitations you once accepted. This hunger is not impatience. It is awakening. It is the recognition that you were never meant to remain in cycles that diminish your potential. You may find yourself becoming more intentional with your time and energy. Moments that once slipped away unnoticed now feel valuable. Conversations that distract you now feel heavier than before. Environments that drain you become unmistakably uncomfortable. This is because your spirit is becoming more aligned with your future than your past. Your energy is upgrading. Your focus is sharpening. Your priorities are shifting. And with this shift comes the beginning of true financial evolution, the realization that your time, your attention, your creativity, your gifts are currency. You are learning to invest yourself wisely. Chosen one, you may also notice that your tolerance for chaos is decreasing. Financial elevation requires clarity, and clarity cannot coexist with disorder. This is why you may feel a sudden urge to clean, organize, simplify, or restructure your environment. You may feel the need to tidy your space, reset your routines, or refine your habits. Do not overlook these impulses. They are signs that your inner world is preparing for external growth. The universe aligns your circumstances with your energy, and right now, your energy is craving order. As this evolution deepens, your mindset begins to shift in profound ways. You are no longer motivated by fear. You are no longer pulled by desperation. You are no longer acting from survival mode. Instead, you are becoming strategic. You are thinking ahead. You are planning with intention. You are moving with purpose. This shift in mindset is the foundation upon which abundance is built. Money follows clarity. Opportunities follow readiness. Growth follows alignment. Chosen one, you may begin to question long-standing beliefs about money that were never yours to carry. You may realize that the limits placed on you were inherited, taught, absorbed, or imposed, but never chosen. You begin to see that scarcity thinking was a survival mechanism, not a truth. You begin to see that abundance is not random luck, but energetic alignment. You begin to see that financial limitation was never a reflection of your potential, but of the environment that shaped you. This awareness is powerful. Once you see the truth, you cannot return to illusion. Once you recognize your value, you cannot return to undervaluing yourself. Once you awaken to possibility, you cannot return to settling for less. This is the beginning of your financial transformation. The moment you realize that your future cannot be built on the beliefs that kept you small. Chosen one, during this period, you may find yourself drawn to learning new skills, expanding your knowledge, or exploring new areas of possibility. This curiosity is not accidental. It is your intuition guiding you toward the tools you need for your next chapter. You are being prepared for opportunities that require a more evolved version of you. Financial elevation is not just about gaining resources, it is about becoming the person who can handle them, manage them, multiply them, and sustain them. You may also begin to feel more confident about your abilities. Ideas that once intimidated you may now feel exciting. Risks that once felt impossible may now feel aligned. Situations that once triggered anxiety may now feel manageable. This confidence is not naive, it is intuitive. It is rooted in the truth that you are outgrowing doubt. Your self-belief is strengthening because your inner world is rising. Chosen one, you may start to sense new opportunities forming in your energy field. Not physically, not visibly, but intuitively. You may feel like something is coming, something is aligning, something is opening. You may not have the details, but you feel the momentum building. This is not imagination. It is energetic preparation. Your spirit senses alignment before your mind understands it. And right now, your spirit feels the beginning of financial expansion. This inner knowing may feel like a calm excitement, a steady readiness rather than frantic anticipation. It may feel like a settling in your chest, a grounding in your body, a strength in your posture. This calm excitement is a sign that your spirit is preparing to receive what matches your growth. You are stepping into your next level with intention rather than desperation. Chosen one, financial evolution also comes with emotional refinement. You may begin to see the emotional patterns that once led you into financial stagnation. Perhaps you overgave because you wanted acceptance. Perhaps you undercharged because you doubted your value. Perhaps you stayed in draining situations because you feared instability. These emotional patterns are dissolving now. You are recognizing them without judgment, releasing them without guilt, and replacing them with alignment. As your identity evolves, you will notice that you no longer respond to money with fear, but with awareness. You no longer approach opportunities with doubt, but with strategy. You no longer define yourself by lack, but by potential. This internal shift creates external opportunities. You will begin to notice doors opening that once remained shut. You will attract connections that feel aligned with your growth. You will find clarity where confusion once lived. Chosen one, another sign of your financial evolution is the rise of discernment. You begin to see the difference between fast money and aligned money, between temporary gain and sustainable growth, between opportunities that elevate you and traps that drain you. Discernment protects your path. It helps you avoid detours. It helps you choose wisely. And right now, your discernment is becoming sharper. You may also feel a deeper appreciation for patience. You are no longer seeking instant gratification. You understand that true financial elevation is a process, not a sudden miracle, not a random stroke of luck, not a fleeting moment of abundance. It is steady, intentional, internal growth. And because you understand this, you no longer panic when progress feels slow. You trust the unfolding. You trust the timing. You trust yourself. Chosen one, as this evolution strengthens, you may feel a desire to align your financial goals with your purpose. You may feel drawn to work that inspires you. You may feel called to create value in ways that feel authentic. You may feel guided toward paths that align with your gifts. This is because abundance flows more easily when you move with intention. When your purpose aligns with your actions, your path becomes smooth. You may also notice that your internal standards are rising. You expect more from yourself, not because you feel inadequate, but because you finally recognize your capabilities. You begin to hold yourself accountable. You begin to choose discipline over distraction. You begin to build habits that support your evolution. These standards are the scaffolding of your financial elevation. They structure your growth and protect your path. Chosen one, the internal evolution happening within you is preparing you for opportunities that your old mindset could not sustain. You are outgrowing your previous limitations. You are shedding the beliefs that once confined you. You are stepping into a deeper version of yourself, one capable of creating, attracting, and maintaining abundance. This is not the peak of your financial journey. It is the foundation. The beginning, the awakening, the rise. Your financial evolution is not coming. It is already happening. And you are becoming aligned enough to see it. Chosen one, as your financial evolution continues maturing within you, something deeper begins to shift. Your sense of identity around money, stability, opportunity, and worth. You may start to realize that financial elevation is not about numbers. It is about identity. It is about the version of you who rises to meet opportunity instead of shrinking from it. It is about the version of you who trusts your intuition instead of fearing uncertainty. It is about the version of you who sees possibility instead of limits. This shift is subtle at first, but unmistakable. And once it begins, it cannot be reversed. You are stepping into the identity of someone who no longer sabotages their potential. You may also notice that you are no longer impressed by the things that once distracted you. Flashy opportunities that promise quick results may no longer tempt you. Situations that once appealed to your impatience may now feel shallow. You are beginning to desire depth instead of shortcuts, sustainability instead of flashes, alignment instead of desperation. This is because your spirit is maturing. You are beginning to choose what grows you rather than what entertains you. Your financial evolution is refining your desires. Chosen one, you may feel your emotional intelligence expanding as part of this transformation. Financial elevation requires emotional balance, and the universe is strengthening that balance within you. You may find yourself pausing before reacting. You may notice that you evaluate opportunities more clearly. You may sense that you analyze decisions more deeply. This is not overthinking. It is discernment. It is the energy of someone who is waking up from survival mode and stepping into strategic awareness. You are not just becoming financially aligned, you are becoming emotionally steady. As this inner evolution deepens, your sense of responsibility toward your own future becomes more grounded. You may start creating goals with more specificity. You may begin thinking long-term instead of living moment to moment. You may feel guided to repair old habits that held you back. Responsibility no longer feels heavy. It feels empowering. This is the identity shift that anchors financial elevation. The realization that you are the architect of your future. Chosen one, during this period, you may begin to detach from comparison. You may realize that the financial journeys of others say nothing about your path. You may stop measuring your timeline against theirs. You may stop judging your progress harshly. You may begin to trust your own pace. This detachment frees you from unnecessary pressure. It gives your journey room to breathe. It allows abundance to reach you without the interference of insecurity. You may also feel a surprising calmness in areas that once caused financial anxiety. Things that would have overwhelmed you months ago now feel manageable. Situations that once triggered fear may now evoke strategy. This emotional shift is not accidental. It is the result of your internal strengthening. Your nervous system is recalibrating. Your mind is stabilizing. Your energy is grounding. This calmness is the emotional maturity required for financial expansion. Chosen one of the most powerful shifts in this stage is the awakening of your self-worth. You may begin to feel differently about what you accept in work, in relationships, in compensation, in expectations. You may begin to raise your standards naturally. You may find yourself unwilling to settle for environments that undervalue you. This rise in worthiness is not arrogance, it is alignment. You are finally seeing yourself without distortion. You are finally recognizing how much you were meant to receive. As your self-worth rises, so does your ability to make decisions that support your financial future. You may feel guided to make changes in habits, routines, relationships, commitments, or patterns. You may feel called to leave behind certain environments that no longer reflect your identity. You may feel ready to pursue opportunities that once felt intimidating. This readiness is the sign that your internal identity has shifted enough to support higher levels of abundance. Chosen one, you may begin to notice that your thoughts carry more intention. You may see your inner dialogue transforming from scarcity thinking into possibility thinking. You may feel your imagination awakening. You may find yourself envisioning a future that once felt unrealistic or unreachable. This vision is not fantasy. It is the next layer of your evolution revealing itself. Your mind is beginning to operate at a frequency that aligns with abundance. You may also feel that your relationship with receiving is changing. You no longer resist help. You no longer reject opportunities. You no longer feel unworthy when something good comes your way. Receiving becomes more natural because your identity is shifting into someone who believes they deserve it. This shift is essential. Abundance flows where worthiness is rooted. Chosen one, your financial evolution may also bring a newfound sense of patience, not passive waiting, but active readiness. You may feel less urgency and more trust, less fear and more strength, less pressure and more flow. This patience is a form of spiritual intelligence. It allows you to move wisely, not impulsively. It opens the door for opportunities that require calm intention rather than chaotic reaction. You may notice that your focus becomes sharper. You no longer scatter your attention. You no longer chase everything. You no longer spread yourself thin. You begin to prioritize what matters. You begin to simplify your goals. You begin to direct your energy toward what feels aligned. This focus is a sign that your spirit is entering a chapter of intentional growth. Chosen one, as this evolution continues, you may feel more connected to your purpose. You may feel a deeper understanding of the value you bring to the world. You may recognize gifts within you that you once ignored. Financial elevation is not separate from purpose. It is connected to it. Once you align with who you are meant to be, abundance aligns with you. You may also notice that your energy attracts different kinds of people. People who encourage growth. People who understand your direction. People who bring clarity rather than confusion. As you evolve, your environment evolves with you. Financial elevation is not just about money. It is about building a life that supports your expansion. Chosen one, the most powerful sign of this evolution is that you are no longer afraid of becoming your next self. You no longer fear success. You no longer fear responsibility. You no longer fear change. You are beginning to trust your capability. You are beginning to trust your intuition. You are beginning to trust your journey. Your financial evolution is here. It is active. It is unfolding. It is reshaping you from the inside out. And chosen one, you are rising beautifully into it. Chosen one, As this financial evolution continues expanding within your spirit, you may begin to feel an unexpected sense of separation occurring inside you. A separation between who you used to be and who you are becoming. This separation is not forced. It is natural. It is the quiet realization that the mindset you once lived with cannot survive in the reality you are stepping into. Old limitations fall away. Old beliefs crumble. Old insecurities lose their grip. You may feel yourself outgrowing versions of yourself that were built in survival. You are finally stepping into a version of yourself built in intention. You may begin to observe that you no longer respond to financial pressure the way you once did. Instead of shrinking, you evaluate. Instead of panicking, you strategize. Instead of fearing, you become curious. This shift in your emotional posture is one of the strongest signs that your financial evolution is activating at a deep level. You are not simply thinking differently. You are becoming someone different. Someone who can handle what they once feared. Someone who approaches opportunity with clarity rather than desperation. Chosen one, you may notice that your understanding of value is changing. You begin to see that your time is valuable, your energy is valuable, your ideas are valuable, your creativity is valuable, your presence is valuable. You begin to feel that it is no longer acceptable to pour yourself into situations that undervalue or underpay you. This is not entitlement, it is alignment. You are learning to demand from the world what your spirit already knows you deserve. This shift in your understanding of value will naturally influence your boundaries. You may find yourself saying no more often, not because you are rejecting opportunities, but because you are filtering for alignment. You become selective about how you invest your energy, who you collaborate with, and what you commit to. This selectiveness is part of your evolution. When your identity rises, your standards must rise with it. You are not being difficult. You are being precise. Chosen one, as your financial evolution deepens, your inner world becomes more organized. You begin to prioritize differently. You begin to structure your life with intention. You may feel compelled to create plans, build systems, refine routines, or adopt new habits. Your spirit is preparing for expansion by creating internal order. This order becomes the foundation upon which your financial evolution will rest. Without internal structure, external abundance cannot be sustained. You may also feel a growing desire for independence. Not isolation, but autonomy. You may feel the urge to take control of your path, shape your future, create your opportunities, and trust your vision. This is because your spirit is waking up to its ability to build. You are no longer content to rely on others for stability or direction. You are beginning to understand that your financial evolution is tied to your willingness to lead your life with intention. Chosen one, you may begin noticing that your creative potential is expanding. Ideas that once felt unreachable now feel possible. Plans that once intimidated you now feel manageable. Dreams that once felt distant now feel closer. You may feel a renewed passion for something you once abandoned. This creative expansion is not random. It is a sign that your spirit is aligning with purpose. Creativity is one of the highest expressions of abundance, and your spirit is awakening to it. You may also feel a pull toward self-discipline, not the harsh, punishing discipline rooted in fear, but the gentle, focused discipline rooted in alignment. You may begin to choose habits that support your growth. You may feel motivated to eliminate distractions. You may become more protective of your time. This form of discipline is not about restriction, it is about elevation. You are building the habits of someone who can sustain abundance, not just receive it. And through this refined focus, you become the kind of person whose growth is not temporary, but inevitable.